Hello there. In this video, we're going to be talking about a subject that we've delved into a little bit in other videos, coming at it from a slightly different angle. But this question is asked often, and that is, can homeschoolers participate in public school programs? We'll talk about that in this video. There's 5 areas we want to cover in this video. One's access to special education services. 2 would be guidance counseling services or counseling services, including social work services. Are those available if you need them? What about the extracurricular activities? Not just sports, which is what we often think of, but all the clubs and music and theater and all those extra things that schools often provide. Can you get access to those? Dual enrollment. What are those? And do you have access to those if you are homeschooled? And then what steps does parents need to be able to take to access any of those programs? All that we'll be talking about in this video. Special education services are provided typically through public schools, but not only through public schools. Again, you need to kind of check with local and state kind of regulations on this, but a federal law that governs special education, the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, guarantees that you can't be denied necessary services to help your child's education. Now, there's not just special education classes, but the typical classic thinking in terms of some of the intellectual skills or academic skills, whether it's reading ability, having dyslexia, and just different kinds of things such as that. But speech services, occupational therapy, social work services, there's a lot of other services that special ed education can provide for children in order for them to be able to fully access educational opportunities. How you access these and to what extent, including the testing to find out whether your child even qualifies, all of that you need to kind of look at locally. But they are available, and exactly how to access them and get those, you need to be checking with your district, but also the state laws and regs so that you can fully claim anything that you need to help your child succeed in schools. Counseling services we often think of as part of special ed, and they are, and they can be. But there's lots of counseling services that go to students who aren't in special ed. Guidance counseling service has many things, particularly as you move up through the schools. As you get into middle school and high school, there's a whole lot of things they do in terms of developing and helping to teach social skills and interview skills and trying to figure out career paths and opportunities to get into college and what all those different options are. There's lots of different even classes that they offer. Groups of kids in even middle school into high school. There are even guidance counseling programs at the elementary school level. Those are the kind of programs you want to try to figure out whether you want your child to be part of, and if so, how do you access them and get those? Those are going to come under a different umbrella than special ed services, right? Because you are not guaranteed the right of those under some federal law like the Individuals with Disability Education Act. So you really want to kind of do your homework on that. And sometimes some of those services you can provide just as well at home through some other community programs. So you want to see what those counseling services are that are being offered and which ones you might want access to and how to go about getting access to those. Some of them are really good. Some of them are highly political in nature. The one area that we've covered in other videos that are what parents most often think about and trying to get access to are sports and other extracurricular activities. Once again, the answer is kind of the same. You want to be checking out what the state requirements are and what you get access to if you do homeschool. Sometimes if you just take a couple classes or get involved in maybe even some of the these counseling programs through the school that gives you enough in that you can access these. Other times, it doesn't matter whether you're homeschooled or not, you have full access to those. So that includes music, theater, athletics, outing clubs, all those kind of clubs and organizations, gaming club and high tech club and debate team and all those kinds of things that are being offered to the school. If you're homeschooled, you may have equal access to all of those. So you just need to kind of do your homework and be that squeaky wheel, right? If you know your child can really benefit from it and want it, make sure you advocate effectively and well for your child, and look at other options too outside of the public school. There might be avenues that way. The idea of dual enrollment is another thing that's offered in many high schools today, particularly those who have a local university or junior college or something available to them. And that is they take a class at the high school that gives them credit at like the local university. Dual enrollment. You're getting high school credit, and then that college will take the credit as well. That's arrangements that are usually done with a public school and the local university or junior college. That might be something you want to access as a homeschooler, where you just have your child taking that one class. But there are other alternatives besides like a dual enrollment. You might actually be able to get your child enrolled in those college classes at the university. That is done more and more often. Sometimes there's online that are being offered by a college that you can qualify for and do an online one. It may not even be a local university, right? It could be like a Duke University or a well-known national university that you might be able to have your child take a college class as part of your homeschool. So definitely be looking into that. That's a powerful opportunity for homeschoolers. Now, there are numerous examples of how this kind of factors out and plays out. Let me tell you about one special education child who was homeschooled. And this child had a speech impediment. Now, that family decided not to go the public school route, but that opportunity to get the speech resources was available to them. They decided to go a different route, a private route, which is perfectly okay. But the idea there for this person was they had the option. They went and looked at, okay, if we do the public school, but boy, I think we know this private person who does this, and I think I'd rather have my student do that. The cost differential, I don't remember in this particular case how that worked out, but I believe that part of it at their district was covered, essentially what they would have paid for by having it done with the school, and then the extra, I think the family did. Regardless, the point of that being was this family had the option of having their child, even though he's being homeschooled, take the speech language services at the public school. Other example, my kids grew up playing baseball with a kid who was homeschooled, and they met him through playing in the local leagues, right? But then by the time he got to middle school and wanted to start playing school baseball, because that was his sport, even though he's being homeschooled, he played school baseball. And so they played with him in middle school and into high school. That option was available for him, even though he's being homeschooled in their district, and they took advantage of it. Parents, first step for you to do in this is to, we say it a lot, but you want to find out what the programs are that you might be interested at the schools. What are they offering? What do you need? Like if you're finding that your child is struggling academically, maybe you need to find out whether they do have a learning disability and what do I have to do? So you've got to Start looking into, all right, how do I get the testing? Contacting the school. There are lots of advocacy groups that you can find online, legal advocacy groups as well for homeschool families, so you can be checking that out. You might need to talk to lawyers at some point if you're getting any sort of pushback, but generally public schools are pretty open to that and will tell you kind of what the process is, what you need to do, what you want to get in. This is especially true with special education, but even the extracurricular activities. Be prepared, do your homework, and then decide what you think you need and then what you might want your child to be part of, and go out there and advocate for that. You are a taxpayer in that community. Once again, we've come to the end of our video, and I would hope that you would like this video, share it with other people if you've got things out of it, subscribe to our channel, but also consider making a comment, please. It does help me as I get comments and kind of look at those. It helps me kind of do my own self-evaluation and see where we're headed. So please consider commenting, liking, sharing, and engaging. And I will see you in the next video.